To introduce our next presenter, Ann Golden. She is a distinguished Toastmaster who joined in 2015 and has achieved two times distinguished, and has achieved several awards for her successful leadership and passionate devotion to helping other Toastmasters in District 38. Ann has served as District 38 leadership, as the Division Director, Area Director, Administrative Manager, and Officer Training Coordinator. She was District 38's 2020 Toastmaster of the Year and received the Superhero Award for her service to District 38. Ann has held every club officer position, served in various clubs in different districts. She is currently the District 38 Speechcraft Coordinator, Masterclass Coordinator, and District 38 Club Extension Chair. Please join me in welcoming Ann Golden as she leads us through today's workshop, Bring Your Passion and Pass It On.
Thank you, Kim, for that beautiful introduction. I do have to make a correction. It would have been nice, but Dale Wallace is our Club Extension Chair for District 38. I am the Extension Chair for District 83. It's our sister district. Good morning, fellow Toastmasters. Are you ready for an extraordinary day? Yes. All right. Well, I have to start off by giving kudos to Angela Durant for her presentation before me. That's a tough act to follow. Let's hear it up for Angela. And I would be remiss if I didn't give a huge thank you to our district leaders here in the front for organizing this conference. I am thrilled. And you know that's the truth. I'm beyond thrilled, if you know me. We have Jocelyn Tyson, the 2023 World Champion of Public Speaking, here with us this weekend. She belongs to District 38, Division D, Voorhees Toastmasters. She's not just giving one keynote, she's giving 2 keynotes this weekend. How about that? Is that extraordinary? That's not all, folks. I'll tell you, we rock it. We have 4 diverse workshops today, and the 2 keynotes on Sunday. How incredible is that? Have you ever been to a conference with that many workshops? I haven't. And some of our most esteemed Toastmasters, who are extraordinary in District 38, are going to impart their wisdom. We all know who they are. Shane Cohen, Dale Wallace, Joshua Smith, and Joe Smith. In the day, I called them the Smith brothers. And you can't leave tonight. You have to come back tomorrow, because that's when Jocelyn is giving her 2nd keynote, and we have Dan DePiro. Dana DePiro from Jersey Shore Toastmasters. He's giving a keynote. I mean, you're going to walk away with so much knowledge. Or is your passion building right now? Because if it's not, it should be. You're going to learn so much this weekend. And that's what's great about our conference. All right, that's my opening. I have to settle down. Because I'm absolutely buzzing. Are you? Are you fired up yet? I want you all to repeat after me. We are extraordinary. We are extraordinary. And this is going to sound corny, but I just can't resist. We are District 38, not Penn State. We are District 38. That's right. I couldn't resist that. That just came to my mind. I said it's going to be so corny, but I had to use it. All right. It's time to move on to my agenda. What am I going to talk about today? I have to calm down. Oh boy. I have to discuss an analysis that I did on research on ways to pursue passion. That's sort of an introductory to my discussion. And you know with Toastmasters, there's always a story, right? So I'm going to discuss a story how one person discovered their voice to share their passion. And then finally, I hope to share with you some ideas, or get you to share ideas with me, on how we can channel our passion for motivating. And motivating. And these words came to mind. Inspiring, encouraging, persuading, and influencing fellow Toastmasters. Funny how they all seem like titles of a path. Did you think about that? Motivating strategies. You get it? Get it? It's a joke. Okay. That fell flat. All right. To begin with the research, there is an article that was published in the Harvard Business Review on October 15, 2019, by an author by the name of John Josimowitz, an analyst of every graduation speech that was given in the top 100 universities from 2009. What his and his team did was, they focused on the speeches where the speakers advised the students on how they should pursue their passion. Not surprisingly, a significant portion told the students that they should pursue and focus on what they love, right? Focus on what you love, as a path to pursuing your passion. That makes sense, right? If you love teaching, pursue that career. However, some of the speakers portrayed pursuing your passion as focusing on what you care about. It's a subtle, but really a meaningful difference or distinction if you really think about it. If you focus on what you love, it aligns with passion, with joy that's going to bring you happiness. That's fleeting, isn't it? It's like my passion for baseball. It's there in the summer, but come wintertime, it's gone. It doesn't stay with you. It doesn't keep you focused. Conversely, if you focus on what you deeply care about, it connects your passion with the values and the impact that you aspire to have. Doesn't that echo the sentiments of dedicated Toastmasters like we are here at this conference? Our commitment, and it's not just mine, it's everybody in this room, that's why we're here. Our commitment to Toastmasters originates from the value that we place on personal growth and its transformative effect it has on our community. And I'm just reiterating what our leaders have said today. Angela's called us a community. Michelle very eloquently called us a community. And I can tell you personally, I hate that word clubs. We're not clubs. Clubs are things. We're a community of Toastmasters. And that's what we build. The journey within Toastmasters infuses us with a sense of purpose, igniting the flames of our passion. I know it did it for me. And as I said, there's always a story, right? Well, here comes that story. This group would be surprised to know that I was once labeled the quiet one. Can you believe that? I grew up in a family of 8, and I was the middle child. Well, you know what it's like. Everybody's talking. You don't get a word in edgewise. And if you are, you're talking, they don't hear you. So you're considered the quiet one. Well, that label followed me into adulthood until I discovered passion for things that I loved, and that was sports. Take me to a baseball game, man, I let it rip. I'd tell the other team what they did wrong. If my third baseman made an error, I'd be down there screaming at them. That's where my passion went. But like I said, that's fleeting. Baseball season's over, I go back to being quiet Ann. However, Toastmaster has given me a fulfilling sense of purpose and passion in my journey. And I want to tell you how it began. When I joined Toastmasters in 2015, I hesitated to engage with others. I was the one in the back room. And I didn't want to get my icebreaker because I was a Toastmaster in a corporate club. They weren't going to get to know me so they could turn that against me. That's the way I thought, that old school thinking. And besides, they're strangers. What do I want to tell them about me for? Right? But after my icebreaker, that room turned from strangers to friends and supporters. And they were my biggest supporters. But that takes me to something else because something changed. And to tell that story, I need Joshua Smith to join me up here. Give me a hug.
Oh, it's good to see you.
He has to come up here because I want to personally thank you for empowering me to find my voice and unleash my passion. And it happened at a club officers meeting when we used to meet for club officer meeting, and it was down at the Pico building. And I know the year, because of the year I was the first president, I became president of ETS. And it was in June of 2019. And Joshua was our club growth director at the time. So Joshua, I want you to tell them what happened and what the reaction was.
Well, remember when she said earlier about being the quiet one? I don't know what it was, but there was some chemistry that was happening in that Pico building that day. And it wasn't the electricity that was fueling the light bulbs. It was Ann's passion. And I remember Dave Schlegel being our district director at the time, and Basha McCrum being our program quality director. Wow. This lady changed the whole game when it came to being involved, not only with finding your voice, but the theme for that year was ready for anything. And certainly she was. But I have to tell you that if it wasn't for some of the things that Ann unlocked that year, which I saw tremendous growth being our administrative manager, she would not be standing up here today. And I have to say, I'm so proud of you, Ann, for being able to share your passion, not only to this district, but to the surrounding districts as well. So she has gone above and beyond. You've been extraordinary.
I have Joshua to thank. He unleashed my passion to all of you that I didn't know I had buried within me. And sitting here today, I have to call up the other Smith brother, Joe Smith, because he told me something or reminded me of something he told me that day. And I think it's powerful enough for you to hear because it's not about me. The reason why I'm asking them to tell the story is so that each of you can realize by bringing the passion that you have within you for Toastmasters to your clubs, to your community of Toastmasters, if you bring that with you and share that with your members, the power that you can have in passing it on. Bring your passion and pass it on, and you will see the miracle happen before your eyes. That little quiet girl in the back or that little quiet man in the back, they may be your next leader in your club.
Yeah, I was with Josh when Ann was giving her presentation, and we were in the other room, and we heard her yelling. And it was like, well, what's going on here? And about a year or so later, I visited another club, and they, without remembering who Ann was, they remembered her presentation and how it empowered them to pursue the Distinguished Club program. And being a Distinguished Club was really something that was achievable. And I told Ann today before her presentation that there's an entire table here with a club that's here because of the fact that she had Mainline Speaks, reference that now that they are perennial President's Distinguished, where, my wife is a member of the club, so I know that President's Distinguished is not an option. They start planning probably before July 1st of the previous year on how they're going to be President's Distinguished, and we have to trace that back to Ann, so you never know when your passion can lead you to other places. So.
They're my Smith brothers. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Thank you. You see, the power of your voice is not the power. It's the passion. And those of you in this room who have come to know me know how strong my passion is. Sometimes it's too serious, and I can turn people off. But I thank you for understanding me and loving me for who I am, because Toastmasters has transformed me personally, professionally, but personally. I was not a very empathetic person before Toastmaster, and the reason behind that, I'm not going into the details because I'm here about another speech, but I had some hard knocks growing up. I had some challenges to face that we all face, different events. And my father was a tough nut, and it was like, you just keep moving forward. You don't stop because bad things happen. Pick yourself up off the ground and keep moving. So if someone came to me with a sad story, I'm like, okay. Well, I lost my mother at 12. Let it go. All right. She's been gone for a few years. Run, pick yourself up and get moving. Right? Well, you can't treat people like that. But that's where I came from. But people didn't understand that. But then I got in this wonderful community of Toastmasters. The Ken Krawchucks of the world. Thane Shedder. And God bless her soul, Jean Shippos. Her and I tangled a few times, but you know what? God love her. I learned from their passion, and I learned to have that empathy, which is so important in life. And that's why I'm so passionate about Toastmasters. If it wasn't for Toastmasters, I wouldn't be able to stand up here in front of you. Let's move on, that's boring. Now we want to move on to the main topic. The passion. To how to motivate. And you're not going to hear anything new, ideas. You're just going to hear from a different voice. You're going to hear from someone who has called herself the passionate enthusiast Toastmaster. And to back that up, I chartered a club in 2019. It was the second club in ETS, and they were in the call center. It was called Ewing Masters of Toast. Unfortunately, they closed this year, and that's due to layoffs and things. You can't sustain it. But anyhow, they got to know Ann's passion. So one of the members called me the Toastinator. And I wear that term proudly. The Toastinator. Now, I don't picture myself like Arnold Schwarzenegger, but you can imagine how I came across then if they're calling me the Toastinator. So I've calmed down a little bit. But what I worked at as an officer, and just as a member in clubs, is to bring my passion. And how I do that is, I am a member, 4 clubs in District 38, 1 in District 83, and 1 in District 5. And what I try to do, and I have a club that I'm Lower Bucks Toastmasters where we meet in person. And if I notice a member hasn't been there in a couple of meetings, I reach out to them by email. Are you okay? Because I was a previous vice president of education. I don't want them to think I'm chasing them down for that DCP point. Right? The fact of the matter is DCP important? No. Hold on. There are 2 sides of the coin to everything. All right? In my opinion, it is, and I'll tell you why. It's not so that you're recognized as a club from Toastmasters International. Think about it. If you're earning DCP points, are your members growing?
Yes.
Yeah. Guess what? The clubs that aren't earning DCP points, you know what they're doing at their meetings? Table topics, all hour. Can you imagine that? And I even suggested that they take the table topic and turn it into a speech. Stretch it. If you're not working it, if you're not doing it, you're not growing. You have no passion. Aren't we in this for self-development? Then why aren't you working the project? Really? Don't call yourself a Toastmaster if you're not working Pathways. And you haters of Pathways, get over it. It's 6 years. It's here to stay. Guess what? I think it's better than the CC. And you know why? The competent communicator? Now, listen to this. Oh, God. 1 and 2 are the same in every path. And I got to do my icebreaker over again. But I'm going to tell you a secret. I know a man that did 33 competent communicators. So how many icebreakers did he do? And we're complaining about repeating maybe 11 times. He did it 33 times. The same projects over and over again. And guess what? In Pathways, we have electives. We're not stuck to 1 through 10. Now, some of us, like me, I do manage meeting online. I'm not ready yet, but I'm taking a step back this year from officers because I want to expand myself. I want to try the podcast. I want to try the social media blog. That didn't exist before Pathways. And I'm anxious to see what they're going to do with the improvement. Ooh, they're going to shut it down for 6 months again? Oh my God. What are they doing to us? No. They learned their lesson, hopefully. But even so, you know, gotta look on the bright side of things in life. Keep that in mind when we're dealing with Pathways. Did you know there are humans in Colorado that actually develop these plans? And there's humans that actually answer the customer service call that may not be Toastmasters and have no idea how the program works. They just know they got to do step 1 through 9 to help you. So when you call for help, be a little bit understanding. I am so excited because I just submitted and achieved my 2nd DTM, but it's my 1st in Pathways. Now, you know what happened? I'm not going to tell you it was user error, but I thought I submitted it in Basecamp. No, you just completed the description. I said, I what? Yeah, you have to go in and mark it complete. I said, I thought I did that. No. I said, you know what? I appreciate you so much. Thank you. You know what happened? Mary Ann on the call from customer service at Toastmasters said, you process it right now. I'll stay on the phone with you while you do it to make sure it goes through. And you know why I got that? Because I told her I appreciate her. And I said, I know you hear a lot of gripes. And you know how I know that? Go to Toastmasters International on Facebook. That's such a whine site. Oh my God. And I go there for humor. And you want to see some of the stupid questions that they ask. I submitted my path and it wasn't approved. Can you tell me how that's done? 8 years in. Did you ask your VP, did you mark it complete and ask your VPE to approve it? Or, I don't know how to submit the award for my member. 8 years in, we're still having this conversation. So, give the kudos to the people in headquarters. That's what I want to tell you. And you know what? Nurture your members. Nurture your members. I do it all the time. And you don't have to be an officer. Newcomers who are here, make sure you are nurtured. Reach out to someone in your club. I'm not asking them to give you a bottle, right? And hug you and say, oh, you're a good baby. Nah, we're not asking that. What we're asking, go out to them and say, you know what? Hi, my name's Ann. I'm a new member. Can you help me understand this process? All these roles in the meeting?
Yep.
Do we really need them?
Yep.
I mean, that odd counter role, I hate that. Do you know they told me I had 35 ohms in my first speech?
You'll have 25 or less in your second.
Oh my God. Ask them to walk you through. Because you know what? Your vice president of education is going to walk you through pathways. You're not going to remember it unless you record it or you ask for slides. It's not difficult. It's repetition. Oh, by the way, do you know you have to do an assessment before you do a project? Better yet, do you know you should read the manual? There is a manual, people. It's just a PDF. It's not a printed version, it's a PDF. You need to read it to figure out what you're going to do in your project. You know what a lot of new members do in one of my clubs? They sign up for speeches. I'm a VPE, you know me. What do? Ken, what do? If they sign up to give a speech and they give a speech, as a VPE, what am I checking? I don't know. I am checking that they went into base camp, that they did the pre-assessment, more importantly, that they read the manual. That means they have to download it, and I get to see the activity. And then I follow up after they give their speech. Guess what they don't do? They don't mark it complete. And the only way you can mark it complete is by completing the assessment afterwards. So, VPEs, presidents, and secretaries for your new members, drill that into their head, like a staff sergeant, like Major Payne. Remember him, Major Payne? Yeah. Do that assessment, sir, before. Yes, sir. Did you give your icebreaker speech? Yes, sir. All right, you little peon, you. I'm your major. Now go back in and complete that assessment and mark it complete. Aye, aye, sir. And you have the little guy march off. That's how you get your DCP points. And yes, they do count because that means you're nurturing your members and they're growing. That's the only way the DCP point counts. Doesn't matter any other way. It's not to say, oh, we're the greatest club. I can tell you, Princeton Toastmasters, I will tell you, ETS Toastmasters is the best club with a continuous president's distinguished. 25 years going! You know who's in second place? Princeton Toastmaster with 25 years going. Did you get that? They're actually tied, but Princeton's still in second place. Because when I'm an ETS or Toastmaster, I want to beat their pants off on everything. That's the competition. That's the way you should feel. You want your speakers to move to the contest. You don't want the George Phillips and the Dennis Elliots of the world to beat you out. No, you want to put them in the sand. You want to be the one going to the show. And that's said with love, because they are best speakers. They know I love them, don't I, George? Not. It's a great club. And that's what you want. You want the fun competition. Have fun competition. Reach out to your members. You don't have to be an officer to track someone's progress and pathways. I do. Member of Lower Bucks Toastmaster, 2 years. Haven't finished her level 1 yet. I create the tracking profiles for everybody in my clubs. And I don't have to, but I do. And I'm tracking her. I said, come on, Quinn. You only got 2 more speeches to finish to get your level 1. Took her 3 months, but she got it done. I'm not going to tell you who, but this is a funny story. Just yesterday, I'm trying to prepare this speech. I'm trying to put it together. And for 2 weeks, with my other responsibilities, and my phone's pinging, my emails are coming, trying to put on the final touches, and I get a ping yesterday from a former member of Viewing Masters of Toast. And I finished my level 2, didn't I? I still had the record. I sent it to her. I know she did. Because she repeated leadership, in that particular path, you have understanding your leadership and understanding communication. She repeated one twice. She had 3 speeches to go left. I tried to tell her, do a different speech. Now, so she still has 3 speeches to go in level 2. Track your members. There are tracking sheets. And if you don't have any, email me. Toastmaster.ann@outlook.com. I have all varieties. Whatever suits your boat, you can use. What's important is your members. My first conference for District 38, how many minutes I got? 3, 4? Okay. My first conference, 2016. Barbara Spouse was DD, and Mikey Kelly was coming in. It was an impactful conference for me because his theme for the next year were members matter most. Now, I don't know if that was the original idea, whatever, it doesn't matter. But that resonated with me. Someone spoke to me and said, I mattered. And that's what your members need to hear from you. And you need to deliver it in your own passionate way. Not over the board like I can be at times. I know. Did you notice I took the microphone away from my voice so I could yell? I didn't blow your ears out? You have to do that sometimes. I know I have a loud voice. But let your members know you care. And you don't have to be an officer to do that. And that's how you empower and motivate. Share your passion. You all have it. We don't have to ask you to bring it like Rhonda did. We have to ask Rhonda. Rhonda, are you going to bring your passion?
Absolutely.
Okay. So bring your passion and pass it on and nurture your new leaders from your members in your community. Thank you.